Hi, hello, and welcome, dear viewers, as we get into this next prologue for Blood of the Covenant, like a dog with a bone. So let's go ahead and introduce our currently one-boned vampire, Az.
Hello, I'm as I was on the social media because I think I'm funny. And today I will be playing Omen of Clan Gangrel, said Bone Kindred.
Indeed. And as we've previously seen, I will be sitting in the storyteller seat for this one. I'm Avery at Avery DuBois on all the social media platforms. I'm a partnerships manager over on the Rolling Nomads. And you might have seen me in a few games such as Of Bane and Blood or maybe Berlin Bloodlines. You know, who knows? You've seen me somewhere. And if you haven't, just make believe. So, without any further ado and no more introductions needed for now, let's go ahead and get right into it. The year is 2014, Omen. It's been weird, to say the least. Relocating to South Charleston, getting a job at an auto body shop. It's just been a bit of a mess. This is, of course, just before you were made kindred. And you've just been called into the front lobby by the front desk person. As a man named Don leans his head in. He says, "Hey, we got a problem up here. Can I maybe get a hand or?"
Yeah, what's going on?
This guy, I think he might be, I think he might be a little high, but he's freaking out over, the bill for his car.
Make sure no one else comes in. I didn't need this today. I fucking didn't need this today. And so Owen is gonna take and go out to the main floor, see what's going on.
And you see a man. He looks all kinds of fucked up. His skin is scabby and gross. And his eyes look about as bloodshot as somebody who's been on a month-long bender. He's got kind of a trimmed handlebar mustache, kind of like the bikers wear. And you see he's just kind of holding the bill. His hands are shaking, his arms are shaking. And he looks up at you. "What the fuck is this?"
Man, that's how much it's gonna cost to fix your car. Like, if you can't do it right now, I get it, I understand, but I need you.
$8,000 for an exhaust system and a head gasket replacement?
Yeah, it's a lot of work, and I gotta pay my guys, and we gotta pay for the parts.
Man, no.
Like,
You're shysting me.
You don't have to agree to it, but that's what it's gonna cost. If that's a problem for you, you are more than free to leave.
Yeah, and you're more than free to suck my dick. And he's gonna stand up and push you.
Get the fuck out of my shop.
He's gonna stand up and push you really quick.
Yep.
So that's one. Well, that is a brutal outcome.
Okay.
So he stands up and pushes you, and you do a full backflip over the front desk. It feels like you got hit by a small car.
Okay, no, I don't care what you're on. Get out. And reaching for whatever is nearest, because Owen is gonna hit him.
We could say you had like a socket wrench or something that you tucked in your back pocket or something like that. Go ahead and give me a strength and roll.
All
Or
right.
melee, rather. Just roll your usual pool.
Okay. All right.
This is, of course, a memory, not being back in the moment. So,
Okay.
you know, memories are funny things about how things actually happened.
That's 4 successes.
As you hit him in the jaw with the socket wrench, you see his jaw dislocates. And then you see a muscle up here tense and pull it back in. And this is where the memory starts to get a little fuzzy. You remember eyes like green fire. Remember distended, greasy limbs tipped in black taloned claws. You remember a horrible pain sensation in your chest. As you kind of rouse yourself from this memory. Describe to us Omen's Haven. At least 2 years after this, in 2016.
So, Owen's Haven is actually just a whole separate room off the shop. He pretends to leave every night. It's one room. It's got a shop bench for things he's been working on. It's got wires and molds. There's always a box of silver that he's starting to melt down just in case. Because he never knows who's gonna call and need it. His bed is just this worn out leather chair. He doesn't have things.
As you rouse from your sleep here, as you rouse from death, looking down at what scant scars remain from that night. Barely remembering as you laid there bleeding on the floor in the front room, not 30 feet away. Just barely remembering hearing the front door bell ring, that creature turn, the sound of a fight, a knockdown, drag out, forcing just a cascade of dark hair lean over you. Of course, your sire Scarlet has a lot going on, keeps her very busy. And as you've heard from a few of the other full-blooded kindred around here, Gangrel have one of the least intensive bonds between sire and child. She's giving you a lot of space. Doesn't change the fact that she didn't just let you die.
That's another thing that Omen remembers, is laying on the floor and it was going to be over. Not having to hustle and struggle, it was just going to be done.
And yet it seems as if fate had another plan. As there's a little knock at the door.
It's gonna get up. What?
Owen, open the door. You've come to know Carrie Stoltz over the last 2 years. She's not one of the one of the thick bloods, like the rest of you. She's Duskborn, but she has a small gathering of these Duskborn around her that seem to gravitate towards kind of her ideas, and she is a groundskeeper at a cemetery, and there's just something about her that seems to draw people in. She's about 5'8", 5'9", long curly red hair, eyes as blue as a summer afternoon. She tends to dress in much more utilitarian clothing, things that she could, wouldn't pitch a fit about if she had to go hop on a lawnmower real quick and do a few plots.
Omen's gonna pull a shirt on real quick and open the door. Hey Carrie, sorry, I just yeah. Oh,
what are you apologizing to me for?
What? I don't know. What do you need?
Hey, I need to talk to you, actually. Can I come in?
Oh yeah. You have a seat.
She kind of walks in and moves around you to sit down, like kind of on the edge of the table next to the shitty coffee maker. She says, look, I've been talking to Janky.
About?
Well, I heard you might want to fly the coop.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, one, it hurts my feelings that you weren't even going to say goodbye to me. And I'll never forgive you, and you're just going to have to make it up to me.
It was more of a idea than a plan.
Ideas are just plans without steps, Owen.
You're right, Carrie. I didn't leave yet, though.
Yeah, well, just because you didn't crack an egg didn't mean you weren't thinking about making an omelet.
Fair enough.
Oh. How far away are you trying to get?
Far enough. Just...
You remember that old front desk guy, Don?
Yeah. What about him?
Well, I recently got back in touch with him.
I thought he was just gone, like...
Well, he joined the illustrious ranks of the Duskborn. Omen, there's a Duskborn running around this city that can make more of us. And I don't know who it is. Now that's my problem to solve. I'm not going to ask for your help unless I need it. And I don't think I need it just quite yet, if I'm being honest. Because, please forgive me, your expertise tends to come with the throwing of hands and less with the bandying of words.
It works, right?
Yes, but it doesn't work when you're trying to figure out who the mole is. Don's working.
At least I'm good for one thing, so.
Don's working at an auto body shop over in Kanoa City.
just
25 minutes down the road. That's if traffic's bad.
that's
He says there's a bunch of other Duskborn that work there. Now, do you want to keep an eye on them for me or not?
yeah. Yeah. Does Omen know that that's someone else's domain?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's most certainly you would know the Baron of Kanawa City because your sire hates Elliot's guts. He is everything she stands against.
More importantly, Elliot hates Scarlet's guts. Oh. Yeah, no, I'll do it.
Alright, well that Baron down that way is a real piece of work, so you just watch your back, alright?
You know me.
I can get things handled here. You want Janky to go with you? Or at least to the edge of Kanawa City? It ain't wise to be traveling alone. And I got shit to do tonight, I'm sorry, I can't help.
Yeah, no, Janky. I'll have Janky drop me off. It'll be easier to...
Yeah.
It'll be easier when she gets back.
Yeah, you know Janky, he'll probably just hide out for a few nights. Invent some kind of alibi.
Yeah. Just, you take care of yourself, Carrie, alright?
I'm sure we'll see each other soon.
Yeah, of course.
For as much as you want to gripe about Scarlet, she's never one to be too far away, and that's just going to make you run back to us.
I've heard what she's saying, and
She cares about you, Omen.
I know. Every time she comes back and wants to see me, the way she looks at me, I
Yeah, I think you're putting a lot of your shit on her. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, alright, well... You don't have to worry about me no more.
Right. Alright, well... Give Janky a call. I made sure he wasn't busy tonight. I made sure all the routes got handled during the day by the day walkers today, so...
Miss you, Carrie.
Yeah, I miss you too. Don't be a stranger. More importantly, don't be a dick.
Omen's not gonna respond. He's just gonna kind of get up and pat her on the shoulder.
She reaches in her purse and pulls out a moist towelette and wipes your face. You gotta stop going to... Well, you gotta stop, dying for the day with oil on you. It's getting... You're gonna discolor your skin.
That's not how that works. I gotta keep up with everything we need, and just there's not enough hours in the night. Just
better get used to starting keeping up somewhere else. Don't worry about this place. I'll get somebody in here.
Yeah.
You just make sure them Duskborn over in Kanawa City know who Carrie Stoltz is, and that if they want to leave that place and still have a place to be safe, they can come here.
How about Carrie?
All right, now get going.
I'm gonna leave.
As you head out of the shop into the crisp night air, what's the move here?
Omen's calling Janky. Gonna go find that shop. Let the Thin Bloods know exactly what's going on with Omen's deal, which is if they want to stay there, Omen won't kick them out.
It takes 2 rings for you to get through to Jackie, but he picks up the phone. Yeah. Hey, man. What are you doing, Owen? Where you at?
I need a ride.
Man, what the hell? You only ever call me when you need a ride.
Don't act like you don't know what's going on. Alright.
I mean, I don't know exactly what's going on. But I don't think I really want to know, so don't say nothing.
I was gonna tell you mind your own fucking business, so here we are. Same page. Let's go.
Hey. I got something for you in the back of this truck if you got $25.
What is it?
I found one of them old transistor televisions. It's pretty cool.
What am I gonna do with that?
I don't know. You just didn't have one in the shop, so I figured maybe you wanted one for the new shop. I don't know what they got.
It's things like this, Janky, where you act like I'm. Oh my god, I can't.
Hey man, I'll be there to pick you up in like 5 minutes. Figure out if you got $25 between now and then.
Right. Okay.
All right.
Is anybody gonna come looking for it? That's my next question.
Answer me this, numbnuts. Who's gonna come looking for a transistor television in the year of our Lord 2014?
The only answers I have to that question are bad, so I'll see you soon, you son of a bitch.
All right. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
And you have a few moments here alone.
Omen's kind of looking at the place. Think about what Carrie said. He doesn't plan on coming back. I know what Carrie wants for him. And what Omen wants doesn't match up with that. And so he's feeling a little bad about that. If he doesn't leave now, he won't. He thinks about what he should grab, but it's his.
So you mull these thoughts over. Finally, an old, rusty Ford pickup rolls up in the lot. It's got a yellow flag on the back of the cab that hangs in the bed. It looks like the "Don't Tread on Me" flag, but it's got Rolf from Ed, Ed, and Eddie coming out of the ground, and it says, "Tax this dick, Fed boy." And Janky Peterson, who was a very thin, very wiry-looking gentleman with a mullet that would make Billy Ray Cyrus weep. He's got a cut-off flannel vest with a white t-shirt underneath that's got a bunch of holes and little blood stains and little burn marks. Torn up jeans and some kind of ankle-high cowboy boots. He leans out the window. "What the fuck are you doing standing there? Come on, get in."
You just pulled up. And Omen's walking towards the truck as.
Like you can't get in on the fly. I know your type.
You understand that there's people, right? Like people?
Yeah, well, they ain't looking. They don't ever look. That's the best part of people, is that they keep their fucking heads down.
That attitude is gonna get you caught one day. I'm so fucking surprised you're still this sad of everything.
Hey man, I tell you what, my daddy might have been a Nosferatu, but ain't nothing ugly about this mug. I tell you what. Come on.
Everyone's getting in the truck, just slamming the door, and
Ain't nothing ugly ever happened around Janky Peterson. No,
that is
sir.
entirely false.
Well, that depends on what side of me you're on. It might get ugly if you're on the other side.
Put your hands on the fucking steering wheel.
All right, well, you're no fun as always. Where am I taking you?
Carnival City.
That sounds like a bad choice.
It's my choice, though, Janky.
All right. Well, I assume you don't want me talking to your ma about this.
Leave Scarlet out of it.
All right. Hey, I try my best. I just wanted to bring it up once so I didn't have to bring it up twice.
I have a feeling that this is going to be more than...
Hey, man.
No, what?
You heard from, You heard from them Tremere over there at Dalgane? You heard about them yet?
No.
Oh, I hear a whole chantry of Tremere done broke off from the Camarilla.
Shit.
Oh yeah, sounds like trouble. Sounds like trouble. And you know, I try not to talk bad on people. But you know I don't talk good on people neither.
It is, yeah.
But anyway, they're gonna be real close to where you're at over there in Conway City. You gotta keep your head on straight.
I'll be fine.
Hey man, you wanna hear something crazy?
Okay, is this crazy true? Or crazy as in you found another conspiracy that you're trying to drag me into?
Cross my heart, hope to die, stick a needle in my eye, true.
Thank you, you're dead.
True.
You're dead.
True as white and brown as marble rye. I promise you that. I added a new member to my herd. Oh yeah. Her name's Debbie. She lives out at Painted Rock. Mm-hmm. I tell you what, that's some of the best blood I ever got. I promise you that. And you know, she was telling me all about, you know, Thanksgiving's coming up. Oh, I've been saving my cornbread. You know, talking about making stuffing. And I'm over here like, bitch, I don't eat. I don't know what you want from me.
Hold on, no. I need to hear. This is gonna go so bad for you, and I can't wait.
Well, I might just kill her, turn her.
Don't do that.
I don't even know if I can, really.
Exactly. So,
Well,
always just wipe her memory.
Yeah, I could have Carrie do that for me. Yeah.
That's probably a better plan, yeah.
Yeah.
Or you can go to Thanksgiving and eat that cornbread.
Yeah, no. I think she's saving her cornbread to try and make stuffing.
Right.
Like the dressing with the fixings and. Mm-mm.
See, I'm not old as hell, so I still remember.
And I didn't
that.
I didn't want to be like some kind of douchebag or nothing, but I saw that she had frozen bouillon cubes to make gravy in her freezer.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about how she makes her gravy from scratch. Lies.
Oh no, someone lied to you, Janky? How could they?
Anyway, look, I just want to make sure you and Scarlett didn't have no falling out now, did you? Am I gonna get in trouble for this?
Remember when I said leave Scarlet out of it, and you said no. This is the last time I'm gonna bring this up, Omen. Last time.
I just gotta know. Am I gonna get in trouble for this?
When are you not in trouble?
Listen, I do a good job. I make sure every train in and out of South Charleston and Dunbar and Spring Hill is checked, balanced, recorded, and properly thieved from if necessary.
Right.
I'm a legitimate businessman.
And the Pope, apparently. So.
I ain't never said that.
Yeah.
I don't bow down to no Roman overlords.
No. I can't see you bowing. Scraping, yeah.
Everybody's got to scrape now and again. If you don't scrape, how you ever gonna get the resin out your bowl? Think.
That doesn't work anymore. I tried. Just burnt.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be
Anyway.
something if there was something we could take? Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah. Until then, it's Debbie's cornbread that takes your edge off, huh?
Hey, we ain't talking about Debbie's cornbread right now.
Alright, fine.
Give me, first of all, give me 2 rouse checks.
Okay. Successes! This will be the last good thing that happens to Omen.
So you're sitting on 1 hunger.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a wits and awareness, please.
Okay. Oh, man, I remember why I gave him low wits and awareness. Oh shit. Okay, no, everything's fine. It's not a messy crit. Everything's fine. So that is 3 successes.
3 successes.
Mm-hmm.
As you drive Omen down the 60. Kind of keeping your eyes scanning the road as you always do. The night air hangs heavy. Of course, you don't get out of South Charleston very much. But there's this distinct feeling as you leave that you're plunging into deeper waters. Hello and welcome back to this wonderful prologue, Like a Dog with a Bone, and we have another boned vampire joining us. If you could, please introduce yourself, Huddy.
Well, you already did. I'm Huddy, or Huddy Funchland. I'm a storyteller of many things here on Rolling Nomads. Also a World of Darkness community ambassador, but the most important thing I am Lark Stone, a member of the ministry.
Indeed. And as we kind of pan off of seeing Janky and Owen driving down the 60 into Kanoa City, we return to a place that may be familiar to some of us. The subterranean tunnel system beneath the Blood of the Covenant Church of Christ off of McCorkle Avenue in Kanoa City. As Lark, you have been entertaining a small crowd tonight. Elliot gently rocking in a hammock in the corner. When kind of in the middle of this tangle of sensual energy, there's that mental knock at the door of him trying to communicate with you wordlessly. He says, "We have an uninvited guest in Kanoa City tonight."
I communicate back to him?
Yeah, you can. It's a mental link. It's 2 ways.
Okay. Then she will say, "Well, should I wrap it on up, Daddy? Or do you want me to finish first?"
I'm not sure if we're going to have to entreat with this one under peaceful means, or whether we're going to have to deliver the wrath of God. So I believe a little bit of agitation, finish things up, get things done, and as much as I do love when you belabor the point, I think handling things quickly so that we might address this issue in its pertinence.
Well, there's no better way for me to stay on edge than letting things lie, and she'll stop whatever activity she's engaged in to the chagrin or whatever of anyone who's involved.
They're all pretty conditioned at this point. So as you stop, it takes seconds for someone to take your place, and this tangle of bodies continues relatively uninterrupted. Elliot kind of gets out of the hammock and sits this minty blood drink he's made for himself on the counter. He says, as much as I do love gandering at your natural form, please, let's get dressed and make haste. I would like to handle this business quickly.
As always, Daddy, I'm at your convenience.
He smiles and kind of runs his fingers through your hair. He says, I think we'll take the Cadillac tonight. I'll meet you out in front of the church when you're ready.
And she'll smile broadly. I do love the Cadillac.
And he will abscond to his chamber to don his usual going out garb.
Lark will just collect whatever was lying on the floor that she was already wearing.
Perfect. Nothing too intensive, and you do indeed find him sitting in the glossy black Cadillac with the white rag top, waiting for you with his little half circle glasses on and a smile on his face as he just kind of pats the passenger seat.
Yeah, she'll jump right in and immediately have her hands all over his knee and ready to drive. Because Lark doesn't drive, doesn't know how.
And I think as he reaches over and turns on the radio, I think as he pulls out the dulcet tones of Lazy Eye by the Silver Sun pickups kind of swell as the two of you drive deeper into Kanawa City. Just for the moment, we'll pan back to Owen as Janky pulls up to this auto body shop. It looks like they're tearing down an old Valvoline sign. I guess this might have been a Valvoline. It says under new ownership, new sign coming on a paper sign that's been sort of tacked to the front window. And you see Dawn at the front desk. It's strange. You haven't seen him in about 4 years.
Wait, when did all this happen, Janky?
Well, I'm not really sure, man. I'm just... Look, man, I don't want to be here too long. I don't mean to just kind of drop you and say fuck off, but I think I'm gonna have to. Yeah,
fuck you too, man. All right.
Hey, just real quick before you go, I'm thinking about taking about 30% from the machine shop, and I hear they're working on a bunch of exhaust parts over this week. Yeah, I cut you a deal on them if you want them. You got my number.
We find out the situation here first, and then 20%.
25, and I don't tell you know who where you went.
Look, here's the thing. If you keep fucking bringing that up, I'm gonna kill you. Myself.
25.
With my hands.
25. Last offer.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
All
Go.
right. All right. Well, you take care of yourself now. And remember, we don't talk bad on nobody. But we don't talk good on them neither.
I'll go on them either. Yeah.
And he peels out very quickly. To which you see Dawn looks up from the desk and then looks very
Hey.
shocked.
Hey, man. How? I'm gonna be awkward about this either way. Hi.
What the fuck?
I could say the same thing to you. The last I remember, you were nowhere to be found. So,
Yeah, that
Yeah.
is pretty much what happened. Yeah.
mm-hmm. Yep.
This is a problem, I think.
This is a problem, or
No, I mean,
this is a problem.
Yeah, the second one, I think. Was that Janky Peterson?
Yeah. Out of all the people I'd expect to not be around anymore, it's him. But that Janky's got the luck of the devil or something. I don't
know. Look.
You need a mechanic? Because I'm looking for a...
I mean, Carrie told me I had to hire you. I just got off the phone with her, so... I guess we're looking for a manager?
Alright.
I assume a purely night shift schedule suits you?
Believe it or not, yeah, it would. Unless you want to schedule me for the daytime, in that case,
Just gotta make sure you don't show up.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, I tell you what, I'm gonna head into the office and get your paperwork started if you just wanna, I don't know, fucking mind the desk.
Yeah. I can do that.
Alright. I'll
Start
take
getting
you.
things transferred over. So what ID do you need?
I don't. We pay cash here.
Perfect.
Alright.
Okay.
Well, there's a few other Duskborn that work here.
Oh no.
You should
Oh.
take the time to get to know them, probably.
Sure.
Alright. Mind the desk, I'll get your paperwork pushed through and...
Aren't I your boss? I'm trying to make a joke here.
Well,
No, it's yeah,
I
no,
kinda-
anyway, go.
I kind of convinced my father-in-law to buy the place. So,
Oh.
you know,
Is that going to be a problem?
he kind of leans in. You know, my father-in-law that's been dead for 3 years, but my wife's been cashing his Social Security checks. That one?
Yeah.
I don't think it's a problem.
Well, if you need some updated paperwork, that's...
Yeah.
Not a
Janky's
problem.
been telling me he knows a guy.
It's me. It's literally me. It's...
Oh, well. We'll figure it out. He just kind of pats you on the shoulder and heads back to the office. Takes about 10 minutes. But finally, you see a black Cadillac pull up in the parking lot. And Elliot pulls up and he says, That one there at the front desk glows with the light of a newcomer. Should we offer him a proper welcome here into Conway City? I wonder what the Lord has in store for us this evening, my dear.
I'm waiting to find out, Daddy.
And you see what looks like an old-timey pastor and probably someone who knocks on car windows for a living. Get out of this vehicle.
Owen's gonna get up and go get the door.
As he approaches the door, Elliot looks to you, Lark. He says, "After you, my darling."
She'll smile and give him a kiss, and she'll walk right up to the door, very brazen, and she'll say, "Well, hey there, Shook. Haven't seen you around here before."
No, I just started. What can I do for you, ma'am? Sir?
Well, what you can do for me is yet to be determined, but I think a better place to start would be introductions, my dear boy. What do you call yourself?
Owen.
Oh, Owen. I don't like that. You got to come up with a better name, son.
That's not how that works, sir.
I like the name, Daddy. It's Omen. Could mean so many good things.
Omen. Now that's a name I can get by. That's what we'll call you now. Omen. That's who you are. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Can I insight check these two?
Sure. I don't know what you're looking for, but you're gonna get an answer that I assume you're not expecting.
Yeah, I just got renamed by two people.
Sure did.
And yeah, worried about. Not actually worried, just kind of like, is this the type of business we're actually doing here? Am I not gonna just be working the shop and keeping the Thin Blood safe? It's an oh my god, he's so bad at that. That's right, because he wants to die. 2 successes.
They certainly walk in with with an aura of control.
Mm-hmm.
And the man holds his hand out to you. Baron Elliot Vicenza, at your service.
I see, sir. I didn't make introductions. I just showed up. But I understand. This is where I'm staying.
And this is my lovely child, Lark.
Nice to meet you, darling.
You as well.
From what bloodline do you hail?
I'm a gangrel. That's
Lark immediately squeals and sort of grabs onto Elliot, and she says, "Oh, Daddy, I've always wanted a puppy dog."
Oh, well then.
I guess we should get this out of the way right now. My Sir Scarlet Moon.
Oh my.
Lark will frown.
Now that does create quite a conundrum for me. However, I find it only fitting that since my prodigal firstborn serves Scarlet Moon, that perhaps I should have one of hers in my pocket as well.
I understand I did come by unannounced, and
Do you intend on making permanent residence here?
that was the plan.
Well
Sir.
then I have to. By all laws of beast, man, and God, I must offer you my hospitality. You are welcome to stay here. In fact, now that I think of it, there's something I want you to do for me tonight. And Elliot smiles and he looks over to you, Lark. I know how bad you've always wanted a puppy, my dear. And you deserve a night of celebration.
I agree.
He looks back to you, Omen. you are going to take my dear daughter over into Camarilla territory and come back with something that she would like. I really do not care what it is, who it is, if it has a name, if it barks, if it flies. You are going to slip something from under their nose back here into Kanawa City with my dear daughter. Do you understand me, dear Omen? And let me be clear, if you fail, my dear boy, well, let's say I'm capable of much worse things than making you sit through a sermon.
Understood, sir.
Ooh, he says, sir, such a well-mannered tongue for a dog.
He's gonna be the best puppy, Daddy.
Well, I'll tell you this now, my dear daughter, for it is the fear of him which guides my strong hand and the stricture of your upbringing. If this one shits in the house, I will not be cleaning it up. Do you understand?
I understand, Daddy.
That's my girl. Now, handle your business. I'll even leave the Cadillac for you, my dear. Think of it as a welcome the puppy home gift.
Oh, thank you, Daddy. Omen, do you know how to drive?
Yes, I do.
She'll take the keys from Elliot and throw them at you.
Omen will catch him. This is not going how he planned.
Well, I think you got business to attend to this evening, the two of you, so I will most politely excuse myself, and I hope to hear a glowing report of your achievements across the river, Omen.
Or sir.
I'll miss you, Daddy.
Oh, as being cloven from you shall wound my very heart until you return, my dear. And he kisses you on both cheeks and walks out and begins to walk down the street.
Isn't he just the best?
If you say so, sweetheart.
So, let's get to driving, and you can tell me a little bit about yourself. Like, I don't know, stuff about Scarlet, maybe? Maybe stuff about, my brother, Randy.
Right. Let's just say her and I aren't as close as you and the Baron. Might be a little disappointed.
I like to think nobody's as close as me and Elliot, but I want to hear about it anyway.
Omen will take and yell at Dawn that he's got business to attend to.
Don will poke his head out. He says, Oh, hey, Lark.
Hey, Dawn. How are you?
Oh, just trying to get by, really. Got business with my new bay manager here, I guess. Cool, very cool. Well, good luck.
Oh, that won't be a problem for you, will it, Dawn?
Nothing concerning you could ever be a problem for me, Lark.
That's right.
Hey, I do got a question for you though, while you're here, if you don't mind. Your mama's about 4 weeks late on a bill on her car. I figured I'd give you a heads up on it before I needed to make any, make any other calls.
You sent her bill to Blood of the Covenant Church, all right? And you don't go talking about it to nobody.
Hey, I ain't said nothing to nobody.
And you will continue not to say nothing about my family to nobody, you understand?
Yep. Yes, ma'am. All right. Great.
Oh.
I'll have that bill sent over. I'll have I'll have somebody drop it off in the morning.
And I'll go check in on Mama. Thank you, Dawn.
You know, I'd do just about anything for you, and probably do it twice. So.
Well, I will keep that in mind.
All right, I'm gonna head back in the office. Owen, good luck. And he just shuts the door.
Bye, Dawn.
All right then. Shall we?
Yes, we shall.
So you head
After
out to
you.
the car.
Yeah.
The Cadillac starts up like a dream. The tires are a little muddy. You clock that, but it looks like the maintenance on this thing's immaculate. It's a 68 Chevy big body, all steel. It's, glossy black, white rag top. It's an impressive vehicle, for sure.
Lark will be very close to Omen, like uncomfortably close, and sort of just very lightly touching his clothes and being like, "You seem real tense, Omen. I don't know if I've ever seen anybody as tense as you. Is it from being in close proximity to Scarlet for so long?"
Sure. Let's call it that. It's new. Most people don't get this close.
I get close to everybody. It's kind of my thing.
As a person, as a preacher's daughter, or
Well, don't go telling Daddy this, but I'm not one for preaching.
Is that right?
I leave the good book to him.
I've never met a kindred that was so I'm trying to find a polite way to say this, enthusiastic about all that.
You mean Elliot, about God and stuff?
Yeah.
Well, everybody needs their thing. It helps them get through the night, but that's not all Elliot's about. You just need a little time to get to know him. And the best way to get to know him is to be on his good graces. And the best way to be on his good graces is to be real nice to me.
Okay. Thank you for the advice.
But I love how you sidestepped over the Scarlet question twice now. Please don't make me ask a third time. I don't want to come back to Daddy with a bad report.
What a shame that would be.
For you.
Yeah, for me.
And for me, I'd miss you.
Is that right?
She's not smiling.
No, yeah, I guess you could say that. My business, you don't get too close. You don't. Yeah, no. And my sire isn't around much. Me, at least.
An unsatisfactory answer and such a beautiful car. All right, an easier question. Why are you here?
To get away from Scarlet. We're here in this car because your daddy told me that I had to be here. It's a nice car, though. And good company, so.
All right, you don't want to answer questions about your past. I'm not going to push because you know what? I got better things to do with my time than try and pull it out of you. I mean, I could pull it out of you if I really wanted to, but so far you're not impressing me, and I was real excited about having a new puppy dog.
What do you want, though? We're heading off on an adventure for you. That's what this night is about. Me, I'm getting, once again, to drive this beautiful car, which I don't know why you don't want to drive it, but...
I'll drive. Plus, there's just an extra special pleasure of being driven around.
I wouldn't know.
I'll find someone to drive you around if you want, Omen.
I'm good. Thank you, though, Lark.
There might be other things that you want in the future. Getting things that people want, that they desire, is our specialty.
See, we have something in common. There we go, common ground. I get things for people. Or I make things for people.
Sure.
Sometimes
Let's
I make
call
people.
it common ground.
Yeah.
What I'd like to slip something to Randall. I'd like to slip in and out with him never knowing I was there. Or that you were there. Probably is more accurate. And I want to take something of his.
Is this sibling rivalry or are we starting something?
I certainly hope we're starting something.
Right.
So, to be clear, you are not going into Camarilla territory as Elliot has asked. You're heading back into Spring Hills, which is where Randall's haven is.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong. What Elliot wanted was for us to get something out of Camarilla territory, but Scarlet's territory is not Camarilla territory.
Correct.
Mariana Jessup's territory is Camarilla territory.
Correct.
Well, Lark doesn't have any personal issue right now with Mariana Jessup.
Sure.
And despite Elliot's instruction, Lark is pretty confident that she can convince him of other things.
Fair enough. So we're headed back to Spring Hills.
I mean, we can drive through the territory. I mean, we shouldn't... There's no reason not to take all of our pleasure every night.
Which is true. So the 60 essentially makes a big U around the city. So if you just stay on the 60, you'll make your way around the entire city of Charleston. So you drive first over the river into the neighborhood of Riverview, where we see that there are a few large churches, one mega church, but also the state capitol complex. Then we drive up into East Side, where we see, of course, the big kindred club of Charleston Nexus. We also see the Charleston Convention Center, a few other, state administration facilities. We then cross the river again, just a small tributary that feeds in, to go into downtown. You see the skyscrapers, the busy streets, the urban decay. If ever there's anything that you wish to stop for, please let me know. But if not,
As we look at those things, Lark will, again, being so uncomfortably close, will lean into Omen, almost on her head, on his shoulder, and be like, "There's got to be something, Omen, that you want, that you like."
Well, no, not really.
There's not a whole thing on this whole wide world that you like, that you want.
I just uprooted everything. So right now it's in work. Work in progress? Yeah, we'll call me a work in progress.
I know kindred who crave the feeling of feeling alive again, so they only feed off of people who are blitzed out of their mind on drugs. I know people that just can't live without the touch of a woman or a man. All those things make sense to me. You don't make sense to me, not yet. Maybe that's why I like you so much.
I'm glad to see it's going well. me and people, after I kicked it, I make them uncomfortable. So I don't really do much with people, which actually works really well for my line of business. People just show up for what they need and leave.
Is that what you want? To be left alone?
Tried that, did not go well.
I hear there's some kindred who do that. Go independent. Some funny word some book word that I wouldn't know.
I didn't think that was possible. All I heard was the tower. What Scarlet told me about that. And, but
I'm sure it's possible, Omen. I've heard of it. If that's what you wanted to work for, I'm sure
no.
Elliot could give you jobs, help you achieve such independence.
Good on independence. Doesn't.
So you want to be with me and my daddy?
Why else would I have shown up like I did?
Well, you can keep your sarcasm to yourself, mister. And you can also accelerate a little bit. Come on.
Look, I'm just trying to take care of this magnificent machine, alright?
Could I perchance have both of you roll me a wits and awareness, please?
Or we could
No.
not.
Or we could just chit-chat all night.
Chit chat. We're gonna have a nice conversation while Omen's trying to die. It's fine.
Well, Lark is like uncomfortably sexually clothed.
2.
Okay. Carry on your conversation.
Okay.
So she'll start playing with your hair and sort of dragging a finger down your neck. So how much time did you spend with Randall?
How much time did?
Not much. His work as a constable keeps him very busy, and he takes his work very seriously.
Yeah. So Randy don't like me much, at all.
Sounds like Randall.
I think we've had a handful of words exchanged. Most of them were just me being in the room.
I miss him.
He's kind of a prick.
Yeah, but that can be fun too.
So okay, alright, so I don't make you uncomfortable with it.
Do I look uncomfortable, Omen?
No, you look more than comfortable, sweetheart.
I'm still waiting to find someone on this beautiful earth that could make me uncomfortable.
Is that what you want?
To find someone to make me uncomfortable? Not particularly. I ain't searching for it. I have everything that I want. And I still want more.
That must be nice.
It is. And I highly encourage for you to take my lead.
Of course. How could I say no?
Of course, at this point, you've driven through downtown. You've gone into Elk City, which is kind of it's mostly a residential neighborhood, but it has homes spanning many generations of architecture. It's beautiful. It's very eclectic. You've passed through into West Side, which is where the urban decay truly begins to flourish. At this point, you find yourself in North Charleston, getting ready to cross the river into South Charleston, where you see that North Charleston it's really a job center. The power grid of Charleston is really focused in the atomic power yard here. Other than that, there's a few residential neighborhoods, a few old like Civil War era cemeteries. It's pretty low key. But you've probably got about another 10-15 minutes worth of driving before you cross into South Charleston, and then driving through South Charleston for another probably 20 minutes until you get to Spring Hills.
Actually got to explore most of the city. I've been, yeah.
Have you been leashed, Omen? Been in a doghouse?
Metaphorically?
Metaphorically or literally, that's your choice.
Not since before I died.
Oh, I'm sorry. We could always remedy that. But did Scarlet keep you on a leash, I guess?
No, she didn't.
And did you lack that kind of freedom?
Never really thought about it. A lot. People keep telling you how you're trying to feel, or how you will feel, how it'll get better. There's just nothing. But once again, that's a me problem, sweetheart. Don't worry about me.
I don't.
Good.
But I do want to know more about you. I am interested in you, and that's a big step. Not everyone, Omen, can handle freedom. True freedom. A true breaking of chains. Sometimes it drives you mad. But those who make it out, make it past the other side, baby, it opens up a whole new world.
I guess we'll find out if I go off the deep end or not.
I can't wait.
As you cross the bridge into South Charleston again, passing where you know that most likely Scarlet is handling her business for the night at the park across the street from the Creole Mound, an indigenous American burial ground that has been kind of enshrined in the landscape of Charleston. And you pass, the body shop you worked at not 6 hours ago. Drive past a few metal fab shops. You see that there's one of the old spots down right off the river. You see that there has the open space sign has been taken out from in front of the parking lot near the road. And it says now under ownership of King's Brewery. Looks like they might open up a brewery down here on the river. That seems to be a popular trend that's happening. South Charleston is developing more. It's becoming, less about being a center of jobs and more about they're starting entertainment and nightlife is starting to come to South Charleston, which that Scarlet has maintained her control here mostly through the promotion of industry. And one can only conjecture how in a few years that level of control will change as South Charleston looks like it's trying to become a center of nightlife in the city landscape. What does that change with kindred power and dynamics? I think only time will tell as you finish driving through and finally into the neighborhood of Spring Hill, which also falls into Scarlet's domain. Scarlet is the Baron of South Charleston, Spring Hill, and Dunbar. But Spring Hill is mostly residential. There's a few small doctor's practices, a few churches, but it is mostly a residential neighborhood. You know where Randall lives here. You had to be there a few times. It's a little unassuming brick 2-story.
Well, this would be our stop.
Mm-hmm. You wouldn't happen to have any sort of, canine senses that would let us know if Randall happens to be home, would you?
You keep calling me your puppy, you don't even know. That seems a little unbalanced there.
Well, I'm trying to get to know you. I just got you from the pound.
Hound. Yeah, that. I hate how accurate that is. Yeah, I'll see if he's in there. How many people are around?
Nobody really. I mean, it's probably about 3 o'clock in the morning on a Wednesday. Most everybody's asleep.
And Scarlett's handling her business.
Yeah.
So that means Randy's probably with her.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not. You want to keep a lookout real quick, sweetheart, while I check?
Sure. And while you do that, Omen's gonna be writing a little note on like something from the glove box, like maybe like the back of like the manual or something, some blank page.
I think what you would find in there is that there's an offering envelope and slip.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so you start writing.
She'll be pull out her eyeliner and start writing something.
Perfect.
I'll take a quick look around.
Are you using any of your disciplines to help you here?
Probably Eyes of the Beast.
Okay.
And then
I will say, give me wits investigation.
that's a messy crit.
My secret. Omen, as you kind of move around the edge of the house, sort of walking along the 6-foot wooden privacy fence, you kind of look, like half cock your head over your shoulder because you think you catch some movement out of your eye in the next house. But you just see somebody walk past the window, it looks like, maybe. And as you're moving around this fence, you get to the gate, you kind of smell. And you catch a scent that you're very familiar with. You catch the scent of a werewolf, a lupine. And I'm gonna need you to make a frenzy check.
That checks. That definitely checks. Frenzy check. Unspent willpower plus a third of my humanity.
Indeed.
Sick. Okay. All right. And that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 successes.
You are not going to frenzy, but you hear the snarl from behind you and it moving towards you at a great speed.
Omen's booking it back to the car.
So we'll start with Lark. Lark, you see Omen come running back around the edge of the house. That kind of like Skid has to put his hand down and balance himself as he keeps running towards the vehicle. Is there anything you would like to do?
Yep. She's gonna take what she was writing, throw it out the side of the car, and then she's gonna slide over and open that door so he can jump right in.
Got it. Omen,
Jumps in.
hop in.
And
Okay, give me
Floor
a
it.
dex and drive, please.
okay, we're gonna just yeah, rouse the blood. I get hungrier.
Okay. So you're at
And
200.
then- 2 successes.
Okay. You peel out. It fishtails a little bit, You hit one of the parked cars on the side of the street as it fishtails with the back end of the car. And you keep driving. However, looking in the rear view, you see a hulking man-wolf running on 4 limbs after the vehicle, keeping decent speed with you. I'm gonna need Lark, if you're going to try and do anything to help here, let me know what you're thinking.
It depends if I could see his eyes or not. Or if he could see mine.
At the range that you're at, you could try. You can certainly try.
And I would try and use Eyes of the Serpent.
Okay.
To freeze him, please.
Yeah. Perfect. Let's make that roll.
I'm gonna rouse the blood if that's okay.
Absolutely. And
I failed.
And I am rolling. What is the counter roll to that?
Wits and composure.
Wits and composure. Perfect. Exactly the kind of roll I want to be making as a Krina's werewolf.
Fine. It's totally fine.
That's charisma and presence. Yeah. Alright. I got willpower. This is in the past. It's fine. Oh, wow. I will also spend willpower if that's okay.
Sure.
That bit is crying. Alright. I rolled 5 successes, messy critical.
Alright. I rolled 2 successes.
Mhm.
So you just turn around in the car, Eyes of the Serpent. This man wolf freezes in place. Where it gets messy is I would love for you, since your hunger already went up 1, I would love for you to fall under your compulsion for me if you could.
Or Lee. That's not a terrible, awful compulsion to have. The ministry.
No, I'm sure it'll be fun.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Surely.
Omen, as you drive off, you see this thing getting smaller in the rear view.
All right, so that's a thing. I need to tell no one. I need to tell no one.
You need to tell no one that there's a lupine in Scarlet's territory.
Oh, I can't exactly tell her now, can I?
Gives a shit about her. I'll definitely be telling Elliot, though. Pretty cool what I did back there, though, right?
Very neat.
Well, that was a total bust. And I suppose that's also my fault.
Well, I mean, not total bust. There's a werewolf who's checking out Randy. So,
Yeah, well, when Randy left, he took something of my daddy's that I wanted to get back, and also I wanted to leave him a note. But that's neither here nor there. The note's on the ground. If the werewolf doesn't, whatever werewolves do, eat it, then he'll find it.
more than likely, yeah.
But we need to bring something back to Daddy better than just a lupine in Scarlet's territory.
Yeah. Well, originally we were supposed to go to the Cam's home turf, but then my job was to keep you entertained. So
Let's go to the Cam's turf.
So I need to ask where you feel like going.
Any of my family members hang out in an area of the Camarilla?
I mean, you could go to Nexus. I mean, your great aunt is kind of running the place. She's a part of the Camarilla now, but it's an option. You also know that there's a pretty big museum over in Camarilla territory. It's called the Clay Center.
Well, my convictions are a little difficult to break. So unless we went out and grabbed Scarlet and attempted to torture her, certain things just wouldn't break my convictions. That's why I'm trying. So I know what would give me a stain for sure would be killing a member of my own family.
Sure. And I would just like to remind you, with that compulsion, you can convince someone else to break one of their convictions as well, and it works.
I surely could, but unfortunately, I've known Omen for, I don't know, less than an hour, and he doesn't want to tell me nothing. And I'm on edge right now with him as a critical.
Sure. I'd say you would probably know enough about Auntie Max that you might be able to get her to break a conviction tonight if you really wanted to try.
I'd love to try.
So you want to head over to Nexus?
Yeah. And that's what she will say to Omen, like, you want to go to a club, baby?
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, let's.
You're not really
Yep.
dressed for the part, though.
No. Omen's clothes are all like shop clothes. There's holes in them. It's all well worn. And the pants are denim. The boots are steel-toed. He does not.
We'll see if we find someone in line that we can do the old switcheroo on.
All right, dressed up and dancing. You got it. Are you sure?
Oh, I'm sure.
That whole, I mean, I don't know about, well, I'm used to that, but are you sure you're okay?
You're used to running from lupines.
Yeah. Oh, man,
Tell you
not
what,
so
that ain't
much-
my idea of a party.
Not so much. See, this is why I don't have goals, because I used to do things like that without running.
You're a lupine hunter.
No, I ran around with it. Well, I didn't know I was, and then Scarlet happened, and now they just kind of show up.
You saying?
Not the lupines, the hunters.
I thought you were telling me you were kin with a lupine.
What? No. They're, my family is, no.
Your family hunts werewolves?
My family doesn't hunt werewolves. I don't know what they're up to. Last I heard,
All right, Omen.
they're running some smuggling operation.
Here's
So.
one thing you can do with me.
Yeah.
I like to flirt. I like to play with words. But when I'm asking you questions, and I'm asking you directly, I expect a direct answer. If you don't want to give me a direct answer, I'd rather you don't talk at all.
Understood.
Great. We're going to Nexus. Drive, please.
Yes, ma'am.
And it's about a 30-minute drive from where you are back into East Side. Another wits and awareness. If you both could do that for me. 3 successes?
2.
Okay, 2. Lark, as you drive back through North Charleston and into Elktown and into West Side, you're being tailed. It's a blacked out Escalade. It's probably been tailing you for about 10 minutes.
Since Randall's house.
Since you crossed the river back into North Charleston.
Baby, we got someone on our ass.
Okay.
Black Escalade, check your rear view.
Familiar to Omen at all?
No. But you do see...
How are you at... Sorry.
Go on.
I was gonna say, how are you at defensive driving, honey?
We're gonna find out.
Yes, we will.
Omen is gonna start taking back streets.
Are you still heading towards the Nexus, or are you trying to get back south of the river?
Headed towards Nexus.
Okay. You start to take back streets, and it does continue to follow you, but it doesn't seem to make any aggressive movements. Truly seems like it's just a tail at this point. And then as you pull into the parking garage for Nexus and the convention center, the Escalade does a U-turn and drives off.
So, on top of body damage, let's get you some new plates for your car.
Hey, my car. It's my daddy's car.
I thought he gave it to you.
For the night.
Oh, okay. I just...
Like you would give this up to me. At least not yet.
No.
Okay.
Now I need to ask, Lark, you've been shown the quote-unquote kindred entrance to Nexus, which there is a tunnel that you can walk through from the parking garage into the basement of Nexus, and that's kind of the quote-unquote kindred entrance and exit. Or are you going up to the door?
Well, I need to find someone of Omen's height and makeup to, and someone stylish enough to please Auntie Max, so I need to scout for a minute.
Heard that. And I do think, to be fair, as a storyteller, Max may be a Toreador, but she's not a stickler for style. I mean...
Yeah, but Omen's gonna be with me.
This is fair. You may be a stickler for style, but...
I mean,
Max-
Lark has absolutely awful taste. White trash taste.
Yeah.
But, it's her taste.
Max walks around the club in a cut-off denim vest, a coonskin cap,
And that's her prerogative.
jeans and boots.
Streetwalker chic is Lark's
Sure.
fashion, and she's gonna look for something similar for Omen to wear.
Sure, yeah. Give me, let's say resolve plus investigation.
Oh.
Has gotten out of the car and is like looking at the damages and just starting to total things up.
Buff job, a little bit of repaint, and the back should be good. You didn't hit it that hard.
Perfect.
A regular critical.
A regular critical, so 4.
Yes.
It takes you a minute to find a guy, but you find a guy in the parking garage, going to the club by himself, about Omen's height and build. He has clothes that you think would fit for the occasion.
She'll brazenly, whether Omen's watching her or not, brazenly walk right up to him and grab whatever nearest cloth and activate awe, and just start pulling him out of line, whispering all the sweet nothings to him and trying to get him as undressed in the alley or whatever adjacent is as possible, and just leave him there nude and be like, and you wait for me right here, I'll be right back.
And he most certainly does.
And then she'll just hand a crumpled bunch of warm clothes to Omen and be like, now, you're going to change as we walk through the tunnel, okay? You can walk and change, can't you?
Are
If you can't, it's a talent that I will pass on to you. I will teach you it.
Are you? Oh God. Okay. Yeah. And Omen's
Walk
just
and
looking
change,
at this
Omen, walk and
outfit.
change.
And as difficult as
This is
walking
actually-
and changing your clothes is, you do get it done.
Yeah.
Um,
This is actually something Omen's familiar with.
and as you get to the basement door, there is one of Maxine's ghouls at the door. Kind of lowers his glasses to look at you. All right, Lark. Who you bringing in with you tonight?
This is my puppy dog.
Hi, puppy dog.
Mm.
All right. Max is a little busy with some stuff right now. I'll hit the earpiece and send her down if you just want to wait. Y'all need a bite?
Yeah. There ain't no stone or stone adjacents hanging out tonight, is there?
He hits his earpiece. Sub to floor. Do we have any of Maxine's relatives in the house tonight? All right, noted. He says, "Yeah, your cousin Dolly's here, I think."
All right.
Do you want me to
Thank you.
have her sent down?
Oh, no. Mama would absolutely kill me if anything happened to Dolly. I'll just wait on Max.
Sounds good. And he opens the door, and it's a very 1980s backroom concert vibe in this sub-basement. All the lights are red neons. Photographs of Max at different venues from like back in the maybe 70s or 80s. Just a lot of you pass one where you see her arm in arm with Janis Joplin. Like it's just very much that kind of old reliving the glory days rock and roll den. There's a few lines of suspicious white powder out on the desk, and there are a few ghouls in here that are just kind of watching some security feeds. And this is technically Max's office, but it's also a space that is kind of communal for the kindred to hang out below the club.
Side note, Huddy's favorite artist of all time is Janis Joplin. Yeah, Lark will make herself extremely comfortable on whatever is closest here.
There's a Shea lounge in the corner that you can hang out on. It takes about it's going to take about 15 to 20 minutes for Max to finish up her business and get down here. Is there anything the two of you would like to look at, accomplish, talk about in the meantime?
Here. Like I've never been down. Huh. Omen's not sitting down, is just like standing.
I like this place. Auntie Max keeps the lights low.
Is that your last name? Stone?
It surely is. Don't suppose now you'll tell me yours.
Bennett.
Bennett. Since Lark is a local and has numerous family in the area, would she have ever heard of the Bennetts before?
There are a little bit of Bennetts here and there. I mean, they kind of range the economic gamut.
I was gonna say, so they're not in the Section 8 housing with the rest of us?
No. I mean, maybe a few of them, but
Not
Okay.
the ones who aren't part of the business.
Cool. I would like to, in case the storyteller has anything in here that I'd like to find, I'd like to roll a wits investigation. I would be happy if the DC was quite high because I don't want it to look like I was looking for anything.
Sure, go ahead.
Although that's a terrible roll for me. I want to do it anyway. Oh, I hope I roll another messy critical.
You got this. Let's be messy.
Wow. I didn't. I rolled 4 successes.
Let's see, it was the finger wiggles.
Yeah, 4 successes on 4 dice. Pretty good.
Yeah.
As you're kind of looking around in this room, I feel it incumbent upon me to ask: is there anything in particular that you were looking for, or are you just kind of taking?
I guess Huddy is trying to figure out what it is that she would know about Max that would get her a stain, because I have no one to I don't know how to get rid of my compulsion, and that's really all she's thinking about.
You know that a surefire way to get Max to break a conviction would be to get her to compromise her own integrity. What I mean by that is, if she views her integrity very much as having this very like loose, laissez-faire, like do what you want as long as you're not hurting anybody type vibe in the club. Getting her to really put her foot down would fuck up her whole operation and definitely give her a stain. And I think another thing that you would find as you're kind of searching around this room, knowing that there's something you need to steal, is you see that there is an autographed Janis Joplin record sitting in the record. It's not a Rolodex with records. What is it called? A file folder full of records. And you're just kind of looking through them, and you find one that is autographed by the Queen of Rock and Roll herself.
Kind of hard to escape with a record. That's kind of big to escape with.
It is, but if you could manage it.
Sure.
Slide it under a pillow cushion or something. You know, there's.
I still have to come back for it. Yeah, sure. She will absolutely put it under the cushion of the chaise lounge, I guess.
Perfect.
Who all's in here?
Just a few of the ghouls, and they seem to be busy watching some security feeds.
What you doing there, sweetheart?
Well, I needed to bring something back for Daddy. It's not what I wanted to bring back for Daddy, but that's because a werewolf was there.
So are you much for stealing, or is this a new thing?
Not really. That's not really my thing. I kind of just take what I want and walk out, but I would, but I need to talk to Max.
Omen's gonna take the record and slide it up the back of his shirt.
Sure. And as you get that kind of squarely positioned, the door opens and Maxine Stone walks into the room. Max is probably only about 5'5", 5'6", mousy brown hair. I think anyone born in the last 30 years would say she very much gives Ellen Ripley vibes. She's got her raccoon skin cap on, her cut off denim vest that has all the patches of all the places she played back in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. She walks in and she says, "Well, if it ain't my dear niece."
Yeah, Auntie Max. How's business tonight?
Oh, well, things might get a little bit more difficult if I don't keep the upstairs and downstairs separate right now. Why would you just so happen to be here on the night where the sheriff of the Camarilla says that there are anarchs driving around Camarilla territory, I wonder?
Honestly, I have no idea, Auntie Max. I just wanted to introduce you to my new puppy dog.
Oh, hi, puppy dog. What do you call yourself?
Oh, Omen.
Omen. That's nice. It's nice. A symbol of what's to come. Y'all ain't been making no trouble in Camarilla territory now, have you?
Us making trouble, Auntie Max? Would never happen.
Well, Badger's upstairs, and he's looking for 2 anarchs that have been driving around a black Cadillac, so...
That's real interesting because, correct me if I'm wrong, Omen, but we just crossed into Camarilla territory just a few moments ago.
That is correct.
Yeah, well, I've got that creepy old Badger locked up upstairs right now. He's entertaining a guest. So I think you'll be busy for a little while. Y'all really haven't been making no trouble. Shoot honest with me now.
In Camarilla territory, I wouldn't dream of it, Auntie Max.
All right. Well, he's probably just up in a tizzy. You know.
And what would he be up in a tizzy about?
Oh well, you know. He's been all tore up since his. Well, and don't tell nobody that I know this, because I ain't supposed to know. But I done heard he made some kind of childer that didn't turn out all ugly and fucked up the way the rest of them Nosferatu do, and skipped south past the river. Now, if something like that were to get out in the Camarilla, that could, oh man, could you imagine?
Well, that is a secret that I will keep tucked away in my vault, Auntie Max.
That's good. That's good. It's very fine to see the both of you. Of course, you're welcome back anytime. I do need to ask. I do need to ask you a question, though. Y'all know anything about some Tremere from across the river? And at this point, this is the second time you've heard about this tonight, Omen. But Lark, Elliot told you that about 2 years ago, an entire chantry of Tremere moved across the river, but didn't declare loyalty to either of the barons. It's something he's been postulating about for a few years now, that he's kind of starting to get a little worried.
Just the one? Or?
Well, there's a Tremere from across the river who showed up here asking if she could DJ here at the club.
What? Are they a bunch of fucking nerds?
I was about to say, I didn't think Blood Witches got down like that.
Well,
Sorry, ma'am.
I guess we're about to find out. I told her she could come play this week. I'm keeping an eye on her. But I wonder, you ever heard of one kindred goes by the name of Calliope Rose?
I have no idea if I've heard of her.
No.
Have I heard of the band?
No.
It hasn't happened yet. Okay, never mind. All right. Sick. No?
I have much better things to do than sniffing old books or whatever it is that they do.
Fair enough. I just figured I'd ask. I knew they was on your side of the river, so I figured I'd, float a question across.
So you are letting unaffiliated Tremere come to your club, is what I'm hearing.
I wouldn't say unaffiliated.
Did the Cam Tremere know about it?
If there were any of them poor souls alive, they would.
I'm sure you couldn't get rid of all of them.
You heard the story. Rhododendron Phipps burning down the old chantry after she slew her sire in a certiment, or whatever the fuck them wizards call it.
Yeah, I'm not much for stories.
Well,
I prefer to see and touch and feel things with my own hands.
Oh, I know you do, baby, and you get that from your Aunt Max.
So it's a family trait? That's what... okay. All right.
Speaking of family things, Auntie Max, you and I are close and have close relations.
Sure. Your daddy was my favorite nephew.
Well, my new daddy, he has his own ambitions, his own congregation.
Right.
that,
Your
yeah.
new daddy. Mm-hmm.
And I figured that, since we're kin, that sometimes my daddy could bring his congregation down to your club. Have special ceremonies down here.
Darling, I mean this in the most respectful way to you that I can manage. I don't want your new daddy within a mile of this club.
Fine, I'll bring him down here, and he can stay up there.
Your daddy can stay in Conway City.
And his congregation.
If you're willing to take responsibility for them.
Is that enough for her to put her foot down about something?
Yes.
Well, I'll take it under advisement. There are so many rituals. So many clothes get lost.
How many lives get lost, I wonder?
Auntie Max. Don't listen to those stories. Like I said, it's better to have that tactile experience, and if you want to know what's going on, you are more than welcome to Blood of the Covenant Church.
I'm sure I am, Lark. She kind of looks over to you, Omen. Would you excuse us for a moment?
Yeah. Just kind of looking at Lark.
If you must, Auntie Max. Omen, why don't you, stretch out that new suit that we just got you? Go shake it on the dance floor or something.
Well, don't head upstairs. Head out in the tunnel. You know, sheriff being upstairs and whatnot. I don't want your new puppy to get scooped up by the dog, catch ya.
I thought you said he was busy. I guess whoever you have entertaining him ain't as good as me.
Who could
So-
be, darling? Who could be?
I'll go wait outside.
You go wait out in the tunnel with the doorman who's just kind of like nods to you and just kind of bops his head with the music.
Yeah,
Such an obedient dog.
Omen's taking off the suit.
As you and Max sit here in the room together, Maxine looks up to you and says, I've been doing some digging. And I know you're not going to want to hear this, and I know it's going to upset you, and more than likely you're going to leave. Something don't add up with what happened to your real daddy.
Auntie Max, he's dead. Why are you doing this?
Because it's never sat right with me, and I told you that. I told you that at the funeral. I told you. I said, you come to me if you need anything. And you done went off, and you went to that damn preaching man. Now, I'm trying not to get upset here, Lark, because I love you. That's always going to be the most important thing to me. So I love you, and as long as you're happy and you're safe, I can put my opinions aside. But you should have let me make you. You'd have a better life. You wouldn't be stuck across the river in that shithole of a town.
I like it across the river. And I was raised in a shithole. Feels like home.
Yeah, well, so was I, but I made something nice for myself.
You don't think I'm working towards the same thing? We're just going about it a different way. Look, T-Max, you and I both watched my daddy suck down double cheeseburgers 3, 4, 5 times a week. He had a heart attack. I went to the church after the funeral because that's where he spent most of his time.
Yeah.
I just wanted to feel close to him.
You don't find that at all suspicious? Dying of a heart Heart attack, 42 years old. You don't find that suspicious?
No, really, because with those cheeseburgers, he was also sucking down milkshakes and chili cheese fries or whatever they are. How much whiskey did he drink? How many cigarettes did he smoke?
I'm not saying your daddy was a healthy man. That's not what I'm saying. After what your mama did to him and left him fucked up.
I don't want to talk about that neither.
I know. Look, I just worry about you, that's all. And I just wanted to let you know I didn't want you to hear from anybody else before you heard it from me. Something's wrong.
I'll talk to my daddy. I'll talk to my daddy about it.
You think he's gonna tell you the truth?
I think he's gonna tell me what's best for me.
All right then. I love you. You know I love you.
And you know, I love you. Or I wouldn't keep coming down here to fucking Ivory Tower Central to come see you.
Yeah, well.
Just look after Dolly and make sure that she doesn't get too fucked up tonight, alright?
Yeah, I had the bartender stop mixing alcohol into her drinks an hour ago.
If she needs something, you know, just put it on my tab or whatever. Next time you need a job or you need a girl to fill in.
What you know about that man that she's working with now, Pete?
Do I know anything about him?
Yeah, you've heard of Pete. He's a used car salesman in by day, pimp by night. He treats the girls decent. He makes sure if, you know, there's ever any John who treats him a little rough, that they get what's coming to him. And he's about his business, and he knows that he can't run a successful business if his girls are strung out or getting beat on.
I mean, I check in on Pete's operation from time to time just to make sure he's not fucking everything up. Because there ain't too much that Dolly can do besides, you know, the world's oldest profession.
Well, she said something to me when she arrived tonight that shocked me a little bit. That this is her last night of partying before Pete got her a spot at a rehab downtown. Do you know anything about that?
I don't.
Okay. It just sounds like a good thing, that's all.
I mean, maybe. I didn't realize she had that much of a problem that... Maybe Pete's sweet on her, I don't know.
Oh, Lord, I hope something. I mean, I know. I heard that Pete has a wife and a sick kid, but... I don't know.
When has that ever stopped a man from dipping his ink into other whales?
Well, you know, I lived that life. I know what you're saying. You know, things were different back in the 60s and the 70s. I get it.
Yeah, you old heads always say stuff like that, but it doesn't really mean a whole lot to me now.
Oh, I know. You're seeing the world through different eyes now.
I'll keep an eye on Dolly. I'll keep an eye on Pete.
All right.
You just keep an eye on that sheriff and keep him out of me and my daddy's business.
Yeah. Badger's relatively harmless until it comes to, you know, the prince.
Mariana Jessup. Also, make sure to treat my puppy dog like an extension of myself. Isn't he just the sweetest?
I do admit I got a soft spot for the flea-ridden ones.
I know, right? Aren't they the cutest? The mutts.
Yeah, well, go on, get him home for the night.
Yeah, he's had a long day.
She kisses both your cheeks. Go on, get yourself gone.
Night, Auntie Max.
Nah, dear.
Lark will hustle out to the tunnel to see if Omen was able to sneak out with the record. To see if the doorman noticed.
Doorman has no idea.
Well, you did so good, Omen.
It's what I do.
Do good? Wow, that's good to know.
Yeah, do good.
It's a short walk back through the tunnel as you converse. Please continue.
Yeah. No,
Thank you so much for stealing the record.
I promised you I'd help. So.
The way I dress, I don't really have a lot of spaces to hide things. Just a couple.
Well, you got me now, so.
Yeah, you could be my little jewelry theft bag, couldn't you? Or in this case, a record theft bag.
Record theft, jewelry. Nah, I never really got into jewels. It's not there is a market, but it's harder to. Yeah, you need things people regularly want. One of the reasons I run a body shop.
I think I'm gonna go back to. I'm fine, she says unconvincingly. I think I'm gonna go back to my daddy with an absolutely glowing report of your qualifications to be in his barony.
You don't gotta do that just because I stole the record. It's okay, you can be.
Oh, honey, I know what I have to do and what I don't have to do. And I know what I want to do.
I think with that, reaching the car and driving out of the parking garage, back up to street level, across the river into Kanoa City. That is where we will end this prologue, A Dog with a Bone. Thank you all for being here, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.